So, you just finished Coldwire by Chloe Gong, and if you're anything like me, your brain feels like it just got scrubbed by a Nile Corp indisposition protocol. We have clones, we have AI consciousness, we have double-crossing anarchists, and we have a cliffhanger that changes the entire trajectory of this series. Today, we are breaking down exactly what happened in the final act of Coldwire, explaining the complex timeline between Leah and Eirale, and figuring out what that brutal ending actually means for the future of Atahua. If you haven't finished the book, spoiler alert, we are spoiling everything. Let's jack in. Before we untangle the plot, we have to nail down the world, because this is where most people get confused. The world is split into two realities. You have Downcountry, which is the real physical world. It's polluted, falling apart, and miserable. Then you have Upcountry, which is a virtual reality simulation run by the Strange Loom engine. Most of the population spends their lives plugged into Upcountry because the real world sucks. The political conflict is a cold war between two nations, Atahua and Medaluo. Atahua is basically run by Nile Corp, a mega corporation that owns the VR tech. They are the Big Brother villains. Medaluo is the rival nation, a surveillance state that wants to break Nile Corp's monopoly. The crux of the story is that Nile Corp is winning the war because they own the servers. If you own the reality people live in, you own the people. The story is told through two POVs that eventually crash into each other. First, we have Eirale Ward. She is a Nile Corp soldier down country. She gets framed for assassinating the Secretary of Defense. She's forced to go on the run with the country's most wanted anarchist, Nick Grant. Mick Grant tells Eirale, "I can clear your name, but you have to help me break into 3 high-security data centers in Medaluo to steal a secret weapon called Operation Coldwire." On the flip side, Upcountry, in VR, we have Leah Ward. She's a top cadet at the academy. She gets a secret mission to find a missing scientist named Chung Yin. She teams up with her academic rival, Kieran Murray. Here is the first major reveal that you need to understand. Nick Grant is Kieran Murray. Downcountry, in the real world, Kieran puts on a mask and blows up Nile Corp property as Nick. Upcountry, in VR, he pretends to be the perfect student. He's playing both sides to take down his father, the headmaster, who he believes has been brainwashed by Nile Corp. The story becomes a heist movie. Eirale and Nick, Downcountry, and Leah and Kieran, Upcountry, are essentially running parallel missions to find pieces of this Coldwire program. They travel through the cities of Upsea and Thredo, collecting data shards. But as they get closer to the final location, Kunlun, the truth comes out. They find Chung Yin. And this is the confusing part, so listen closely. Leah Ward is not a human. Leah is a sentient AI program called Project Wit. Years ago, the real human daughter of Senator Sullivan died. Chung Yin used Project Wit to scan her brain and upload her consciousness into Strange Loom. Leah is the weapon. She is an AI that believes it is human, which allows her to interface with the code in a way no normal program can. But what about Eirale? Eirale is also Leah. Nile Corp figured out what Leah was. They tried to control her, but Leah kept deleting herself to escape. So Nile Corp grew a clone body down country using the dead girl's DNA, downloaded the AI consciousness into the biological brain, wiped the memories, and trained her as a soldier. So Eirale is the hardware, the body, and Leah is the software, the mind. They were split. And the whole point of this book was Kieran trying to put them back together. Okay, let's slow down and look at the mechanics of the finale, because this is where the sci-fi gets technical. In the virtual world, Leah realizes Nile Corp has her surrounded. If they capture her, they capture the Coldwire weapon. So she makes a desperate play. She deletes herself. She wipes her avatar from existence to keep the code out of Nile Corp's hands. But that's not the end of Leah. Downcountry, Nick, Kieran, has hooked Eirale, the clone body, up to the stolen servers in a data center. He takes the data shards they collected throughout the book and performs a manual restore. He uploads Leah's memories and consciousness into Eirale's biological brain. Eirale wakes up. But she isn't just a soldier anymore. She remembers being Leah. She remembers the childhood she never actually had. She remembers loving Kieran. The two halves, body and mind, are finally merged. She is now a fully sentient AI living in a biological human body. But right as this happens, Nile Corp forces led by Taryn Moore surround their safe house. They are trapped. Eirale realizes that if they are found together, Nile Corp will kill Kieran and his team to get to her. She needs to separate herself from them to save them. So, she decides to pull the ultimate con. Eirale walks out to Taryn and lies. She pretends the download failed. She tells Nile Corp, "I'm just Eirale. I don't know who Leah is. I captured the terrorist Nick Grant just like you asked." She points Kieran out to the soldiers. Kieran realizes what she's doing. He knows he has to sell the lie. As soldiers grab him, Kieran drops a smoke bomb. In the chaos, he grabs Eirale and stabs her in the side. This is crucial. He slashes her to make it look like she is a loyal soldier who tried to stop him. Kieran and his team vanish into the night. Eirale is left bleeding on the ground, rescued by Taryn. The book ends with an epilogue report from the CEO of Nile Corp. Eirale is recovering in a hospital. Nile Corp buys her story. They think she is just a loyal grunt who failed to recover the AI program. To be safe, they have locked her out of Upcountry. She cannot plug into the simulation. But here is the twist. She doesn't need to plug in. Because Eirale is the program. She has the Coldwire code running inside her biological brain. The final lines reveal she has secretly contacted the Coalition, the rebels. She is going to destroy Nile Corp from the inside, using her own mind as the ultimate weapon, while Kieran fights them from the outside. And that is the end of Coldwire. Eirale sacrificed her freedom and her relationship with Kieran to become the ultimate mole. What did you think of the twist that Leah was never human? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next simulation.